All right, homework. Page 6. Do we have questions about page 6? No questions? Okay, so you did not have to do page 7, but if you did do page 7, do you have questions about page 7? Okay, page 8. Questions about page 8? No? Okay. Page 9. Questions about page 9? No questions? Page 10. Questions about page 10? Okay. Page 11. Questions about page 11? Okay, page 12. No questions? Okay, page 13. Questions about 13? Okay, page 14. Questions about 14? Okay, page 15. Questions? For number 18, I will take two answers. You can say whose native tongue is English, or you can say for whom English is their native tongue. Okay, if no more questions, page, I think this is 16. Questions? Wow, absolutely no questions today. Wonderful. I trust that means you all understand relative clauses perfectly. We'll have no problem on the final exam. Great. Okay, so for this week, we're going to do coordinating conjunctions. Not a page. A conjunction is a word that you use to connect two sentences. Coordinating means that both sentences are equal. There are only 7 coordinating conjunctions in English, if I can remember them. And, but, or, so, for, yet, and nor. These are the 7 coordinating conjunctions. They each connect two sentences in a way that makes them equal. Let's put yet here. Yet and but are very similar. And let's put nor here. Now, the rule for coordinating conjunctions is sentence 1, comma, coordinating conjunction, sentence 2. So you need to have this comma. Because originally, if you only had the first sentence, this would be a period. So we need to keep the comma here to tell the reader this was the ending of the first sentence. But we're connecting another sentence. We're going to keep going. So these should be rather familiar for you. And means that both sentences are going in the same direction. So today, the weather is nice and the grammar is easy. This is a complete sentence. This is also a complete sentence. And we connect them and make them equal, not like the first sentence and the second sentence. Neither one is more important than the other. They are equally important. So we use a coordinating conjunction. And because they both go in the same direction, both are very positive statements. So we use and. And remember to keep this comma. It tells the reader this is the ending of the first sentence. That's it. All the other ones are just different logical concepts. So, but and yet go in different, we might say opposite directions. So, today the grammar is easy, but the weather is too hot. Right? So, one is positive, one is negative. They go in opposite directions. For this, we use but, and remember the comma after the end of the first sentence. Now, yet sometimes can be used like but usually the feeling of these two is yet is it makes the second sentence slightly more important. So let me show you what I mean. I'll give you 2 examples. Today the grammar is easy, yet the weather is hot. And today, the weather is hot, yet the grammar is easy. So the first one, the emphasis is slightly on the second half. Like, yes, the grammar is easy, but we shouldn't forget that the weather is hot. And so, like, even though the grammar is easy, today is not a perfect day because we have too hot weather. The second sentence reverses this. The emphasis is on the second one. Um, yes, the weather is hot, but we shouldn't forget the grammar is very easy. So even though like the experience of walking through the school is very hot and uncomfortable, but when we get to the grammar classroom, it's a fun time for everyone. Right? The emphasis is slightly on the second half. All right, next one, or. Or means choose one. Um, we can, oh, that's not good. The weather can be nice or the grammar can be easy. So you can't have both. You can only choose one. This sentence is kind of saying like, nobody is lucky all the time. Right? It's a bit too improbable. The chance is too low for you to have both nice weather and easy grammar. Usually you only have one. So or is to choose one. Again, remember this comma. Nor is both of them are like you don't have either one. You have none of them. So the weather, and for this you need a negative. Isn't nice, nor is the grammar easy. So two things to notice here. One, both should be negative. No, nor is means it is not. So that's also negative. And the second thing is we have a verbal reversal. If you remember, we mentioned before, if your sentence begins with like a negative or a low frequency word, not, none, neither, seldom, rarely, these kinds of words, then you should move the first auxiliary verb in the verb phrase to the front of the sentence before the subject. For be verbs, you just move the whole be verb. It itself, it is an auxiliary verb. So originally it would be the grammar is easy, but because you're beginning it with a negative, you have to move the is to the front. Now, the good news for you is I'm sure you can see you don't have to be able to use this kind of sentence. You can say the weather isn't nice and the grammar isn't easy, and everyone will understand you. But when you're reading, and if you come across this sentence, you have to understand what it's saying. All right, next, so. So is cause and then effect. The grammar is easy, so I'm having fun in class today. Right, the first sentence, grammar is easy, is the cause. I'm having fun in class today is the effect. I really like teaching the word so to Chinese speakers because you could just translate it as 所以, right? It seems very similar. And then finally, for is the opposite. First, the effect, and then the cause. So I'm just gonna, I'm very lazy. I'm just gonna reverse the previous sentence. I'm having fun in class today, for the grammar is C. Yeah, the first effect and then cause. Now, you might be thinking, wait, don't we already have the word because? Why do we need for if we already have because? And this is the reason we still need for is because the word because is not a coordinating conjunction. It is a subordinating conjunction. So there is no comma here for because this is not, sorry, this is not a complete sentence. This is a cause. It is part of the everything else at the end of a sentence. If you use the word because, you're saying that in terms of grammar, the first half, the main part of the sentence, is more important than the second half, which is simply a reason, not a full sentence. And you can see this because if you flip the order, of a sentence with for, you can't use for, you have to use so. But if you flip the order of a because sentence, you can. But the because moves to the front, and you have to add this comma to tell the reader the first half is not the main sentence. After the comma is the main sentence. All right, if you compare the different sentence structures of for and because, you will see that they are not the same kind of word, even though they express the same concept. Right? The meaning is the same, but the grammar is different. Let's see. Yeah, so for belongs here, but because belongs here. There are different parts of the sentence. Okay, so those are the 7 coordinating conjunctions. Do you have questions so far? Yes. Okay. About which ones? Oh, but and yet. Okay, so yes, both of them are used for when the two sentences go in opposite directions. If you use but, there is no emphasis. The first sentence and the second sentence are equally important. If you use yet, there is a slight emphasis on the second sentence. Good. Other questions so far? Okay. Now, we do have to bring up a few different uses of some of these words. Just to help you avoid confusion. So these are the coordinating conjunctions, but some of these words can also mean different things. But is sometimes an adverb that means except. So I would have gone home early, but for the, I don't know, late bus. So in this sentence, it means I would have gone home early, except for the late bus, if it were not for the late bus. If it were not. So this is using but as an adverb. Well, is it an adverb? Hang on. Yeah, okay. Let's say it's an adverb. So it's not using but as a coordinating conjunction. So sometimes at the end of a complete sentence, and you see the word but, still have to make sure, first of all, is this a complete sentence? It's not. Therefore, the word but is not being used as a coordinating conjunction. It probably is being used as an adverb. There's a famous phrase using this kind of but for the grace of God go I, which means this was uttered by some famous guy in British literary history. He saw a powerful man fall from power, and he's thinking to himself, that could have been me if God had not helped me avoid that fate. So if it were not for God's help, that would have been me. I would have been being paraded around and ridiculed and mocked. So but for means except for, if it were not for. The word yet also has an adverbial meaning, which means not already happening. So we say not yet. So I haven't had lunch yet. If you just say I haven't had lunch, that's a neutral statement. But if you say I haven't had lunch yet, that means you're going to, it just has not happened yet. Let's see, the word for also is a preposition, right? Expressing purpose. We talked about this last semester. So I spent to, we don't want to use spent. Oh, yeah, okay. I used too much money for my friend's birthday, right? So for is purpose. Where did the money go? My friend's birthday. And then so also has another meaning. Let's also call this an adverb. In English, again, if you don't know what to call it, it's an adverb. So can replace an entire part of a sentence. So she thought that the grammar was easy, and so did I. First of all, comma plus and, this is a coordinating conjunction. In its original form, the second half was also a complete sentence. But we have shortened it using the word so. So is basically everything after the main verb. So the subject is I. The new verb is did, because in terms of the grammar, we still need a verb, but the meaning of the verb has been included in the word so. So the word so means here means think that the grammar was easy. One word replacing the most of the sentence. And you can do this because you're saying to the reader, it's the same thing. I just don't want to repeat the sentence. So the original form is, she thought that the grammar was easy, and I also thought that the grammar was easy. We need the did because to make this a complete sentence, you still need a verb. But the concept of thinking is now part of so. So we only have this empty verb. It just tells you it's a verb, but there's no meaning to it. Think that the grammar was easy is all part of the so. Let's see if I'm forgetting something. Oh, and then like we also have like either or sentences, right? Either you go or I go. Choose one. But if you want, if you want to negate both sides, you would use neither. Neither you go nor I go, and of course you can just say neither you or I go. So you can see why nor is a coordinating conjunction. These are two, I know these are short, but these are complete sentences. So to connect two complete sentences, comma plus coordinating conjunction. But in this case, this is not a complete sentence. So you don't use the nor here. This is A or B. This is an A or B choice. So you don't need a comma. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. Questions about today? All right, as the examples promised, today the grammar is easy. Let's take a look at the practice. Page 17. Some of these are coordinating conjunctions. Some of these are not. If they are coordinating conjunctions, please add the comma in the correct place. If not, no change. It's 9 questions. I'll give you 3 minutes. Okay, before we compare answers, I knew I forgot something. Sorry. Uh, the quotation is there, but for the grace of God go I. Sorry about that. Right. So it's the main sentence is there go I. That's me. I'm that's me in front of me. That I'm going there. Except If it were not for the grace of God, if God had not helped me, that would be me. Okay, 黄子田，Saya，周慧云，林念善，李新宇，刘怡婷，林轩宇，王博璇，Nick，胡锦和，张怡琪。Yes, number one, or I guess number 4, please. Do we need a comma? We do not. Jane or Ted, A or B. It's a choice. It's not 2 sentences. Good. 何雨涵，王定宇，周品宏，王湘纯，邱可晴。Hi, number 5, please. Do we need a comma? No. Again, it's A and B, 2 nouns, not 2 sentences. Good. 杨仁璇，史博瑞，潘兴贤。Yeah, I feel like some of these people are dropping the course, but we won't find out until week 15, so I'm just going to keep calling their names. 曹凯丽，陈冠尧。Number 6, please. Do we need a comma? Okay, we do need commas, not for coordinating conjunctions, but because it's a list with 3 or more items. So between Jane and Ted, good. And before the or, good. So Jane, comma, Ted, comma, or Anna. If you're British, you only need the first comma. But we're teaching American English. 南正宏，杨志允，蔡依如，陈轩颖。Number 7, please. Do we need commas? Good. Yes, we do. Again, it's a list. Jane, comma, Ted, comma, and Anna. Good. 林佳宇，杨秀安，王小涵。Number 8, please. Do we need a comma? Okay, we do. Where? Before but, good. I waved at my friend, comma, but she didn't see me. These are 2 complete sentences. The but is a coordinating conjunction. You need a comma before a coordinating conjunction. I should say, sometimes, unless you're British people are very weird with their commas. But for American English, the rule is clear. Larry number 8. Sorry, number 9. Do we need commas? Where? Before and. Good. Complete sentence, comma, and complete sentence. 王桂枝。Okay. 刘玉安。 李增文. Number 10, please. Do we need commas? No, we do not. Good. I waved at my friend is complete, but then smiled at her is not complete. We don't have a subject. The subject is the same as the first half. So we do not need a comma here. Good. Liu Yixing. Guan Lurin. Ming Mengru. Number 11, please. No commas. Good. Hard or easy is a choice. It's not two sentences. Good. Lin Zhiyu. Liu Yuze. Wang Yiting. Number 12, please. Do we need commas? Where? Before the but. Good. My test was short and easy, comma, but Ali's test was hard. These are two complete sentences connected by a coordinating conjunction. Good. Questions about this part? Moving on. Same thing. What is this? 8 questions. I'll give you 2 minutes. If you finish, feel free to keep going. All right, as I said, if you finish early, feel free to keep going because your homework will be up to page 27. Yang Peizhen. Yang Jing. Okay. Wang Liting. Number 3, please. Do we need commas? So if the central coordinating conjunction but connects two complete sentences, then we do need a comma in front of the conjunction at the end of the first sentence. So I called their house. Is this a complete sentence? Good. No one answered the phone. Is this a complete sentence? Good. So we do need a comma, right? After the end of the first one. So I called their house, comma, but no one answered the phone. Okay. Try number 4. Do we need commas for number 4? Good. We do not need commas for number 4. He offered me an apple or a peach. It's a choice of nouns. It is not two complete sentences. No comma. Good. Wang Ziyun. Huang Yingjia. Number 5, please. Do we need commas? Where? After apples, 1 comma. Do we need another comma? And after peaches, good. It's a list. A, comma, B, comma, and C. I bought some apples, comma, peaches, comma, and bananas. Yipinghan. Nianzhen. Number 6, please. Do we need commas? Good. Where? Before the so. I was hungry. Complete. Comma. So I ate an apple. Complete. Good. Honianci. Number 7, please. Do we need commas? No, we don't. Bill was hungry. Complete. And ate 2 apples. Not complete. Missing a subject. So no comma. Good. Fu Yanshu. Number 8, please. Do we need commas? No, we don't. Is A and B. It's a list of 2 items. No commas. Good. Saningzhen. Number 9, please. Do we need commas? Yes, we do. Where? Okay, so you said 3 commas, right? Right? Yeah, okay, so affectionate, comma, shy, comma, independent, comma, and smart. It's a list of 4 items. Well, why don't you try number 10 also? Do we need commas in number 10? Good. Where? Before so. Good. It started to rain. Complete. Comma. So we went inside and watched television. Watch television is not complete. No comma. So you only need 1 comma. Questions about this page? Okay. Let's do something slightly more interesting. Next page, bottom half. Page 18, second half. Is this more interesting, actually? Yeah, okay. So for these questions, do not change the words. You can add punctuation, like commas and periods. You can change the letter to uppercase if you need to, but do not change the words. It's 9 questions. I'll give you 3 minutes. Actually, no, we're going to hit a break. So we'll compare answers after the break. 邓慧宇. Number 1, please. How should we fix this sentence? Okay, we can't add new words. I think 1 comma is not enough, right? As you said, you want to add a coordinating conjunction. Good. So the rain stopped, period. And then after the period, capital T, right? Okay, so the rain stopped, period, capital T, the birds sang. Okay, do you want to try number 2? Comma, where? Before, did you say before stopped? Question 2. Page 18. Okay, no, so yes, comma, where? The rain stopped. Okay, the rain stopped, comma, and the birds sang. Good. 2 complete sentences connected by a coordinating conjunction, which needs to be preceded by a comma. Let's try number 3. Let's keep going. Number 3. The rain stopped, comma. The birds sang, comma, and the clouds disappeared. Good. So this one is 3 complete sentences. And so we treat it like a list. It's a list of 3 items. Each sentence is 1 item. The rain stopped, comma. The birds sang, comma, and the clouds disappeared. Good. Mm, 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 mm. 郑红人. Number 4, please. How do we fix it? The sentence is wrong. How do we fix it? Where? But to connect 2 complete sentences, we need a comma and a coordinating conjunction. But we cannot add new words. So what should we do? Okay, so period, where? Before his, and then capital H. Good. So a young boy ran out on the street, period. Capital H. His mother ran after him. Good. Let's do number 5 also. Comma. Before and. A young boy ran out on the street, comma, and his mother ran after him. Good. Since we're talking about splitting sentences, I should also remind you that there's one more way to connect 2 complete sentences, and that is with the semicolon. We talked about this last semester. The young boy ran out onto the street. His mother ran after him. So yes, these are 2 complete sentences rendered separately. You can do this, which is the next problem, but you can also do this. A semicolon can directly connect to complete sentences. Usually, if you know the logical relation, you should choose one of the 7 coordinating conjunctions. But if you don't know, or it's complicated, or you don't want to tell the reader, then you can use the semicolon. But in no case, Hongren, in no case can you use only one comma. You have to have a comma and conjunction or a semicolon, not just one comma. Okay? Okay. 那个是复元数吗？ Yes. Number 6, please. How do we fix it? Okay, a young boy ran out on the street, period. And then capital H his, okay, and then and that's it, right? Any more changes? Are you sure? Comma plus conjunction connects 2 complete sentences. Is this a complete sentence? No, right? So no comma. Okay, good. So the answer is a young boy ran out on the street, period, capital H. That's it. Yeah, so try the next one. Number 7. Pastries and coffee, comma. Good. 2 complete sentences. The cafe serves delicious pastries and coffee is the first complete sentence. It is always crowded is the second complete sentence. To connect those, you need a comma and coordinating conjunction. So comma and. Good. Wu Yingzhen. Cai Jingxuan. Number 8, please. Good. The cafe serves delicious pastries and coffee, period, capital I. So we are not connecting the 2 sentences. Good. Liang Luoxi. Li Yongqing. Number 9, please. Comma after ice cream. Good. First sentence, the cafe serves delicious pastries, coffee, and ice cream, comma, but it is never crowded. Good job. Questions about this half of the page? No? Okay, let's find another interesting one to do. Okay, yeah, the next page. Page 19. So this is going to be a little bit more complicated. We have commas and coordinating conjunctions. We have lists. We have periods and capital letters. And we also have some subordinating conjunction. In any case, fix the sentences without doing anything to the words. Do not change words, do not add words, do not take away words. These are 10 questions. I'll give you 3 minutes. It says add periods and commas as necessary, which means sometimes it is not necessary. Some sentences are correct. Wei, number 1, is it correct? Good. Number 1 is correct, no change. Zheng Yixuan, Mason, number 2. Calm after calm. Because the lake was calm, comma, Tom went fishing. Good. The main sentence begins with Tom. Because is not a complete sentence. It is a reason. It should come at the end. We have moved it to the front. We need a comma to tell the reader that the sentence begins with the word Tom. Good. Liu Tianqi. Gabriella, number 3, please. Period after calm, and then capital H. Good. Tom went fishing because the lake was calm. Well, hang on. Is that really the best way to do this? Okay, the grammar would be correct if your answer was Tom went fishing because the lake was calm, period, capital H, he caught 2 fish. But is there a better way to do this? Because the lake was calm, which part does that go with? It's the reason for which effect. Good. Tom went fishing, period. And then? Wait. I think you're going too fast. Tom went fishing, period. And then? Capital B, because the lake was calm, comma, he caught 2 fish. Good. It makes more sense to say that the effect of the lake was calm is that he could catch fish, not that he went fishing. Okay, I'll give you that one. But you should see that there are two possible ways to do this. Okay, Yang Jieyu. V. Number 4, please. When Tom went fishing, comma, the lake was calm. Are you sure it's a comma? Period, right? You need a coordinating conjunction, but you can't add it. So it has to be a period. And then capital H. Good. So the answer is when Tom went fishing, comma, the lake was calm. Period. Capital H. He caught 2 fish. Let's keep going. Try number 5. B. Let's keep going. Number 5, please. All right, good. The lake was calm, comma. So Tom went fishing, period. And then capital H, he caught 2 fish. Good. 出生江安琪秋人 Han. Yes. Number 6, please. Good. Because the lake was calm and quiet, comma, Tom went fishing. Yo-Yo-Ring. Number 7, please. Okay. Well, your first comma is right. The lake was calm, comma. It's a list of 3, right? A, B, and C. So in American English, we prefer A, comma, B, comma, and C. And then you added a comma here. Why? The when part. Does that usually go in the front or in the back? It's a time, right? Not a subject, not a verb, not an object. It's a time. So it goes in the everything else part, the back of the sentence. When we move it to the front, we add a comma to tell the reader we have moved it from the back to the front, but it usually goes in the back. So we don't need a comma there. So the correct answer is the lake was calm, comma, quiet, comma, and clear when Tom went fishing. Let's keep going. Try number 8. Okay, because Mr. Hood has dedicated his life to helping the poor, is that a complete sentence? Are you sure? It begins with because, which turns the whole thing into a reason. If you don't have the word because, then it's complete. But when you add the word because, the whole thing is a reason. And reasons go at the back of the sentence with everything else. So it's not complete. It is usually in the back. We have moved it to the front. So we have to add a comma before T, which is where the main sentence begins. So because Mr. Hood, blah, 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 the poor, sorry, that's kind of ironic. Because Mr. Hood has dedicated his life to helping the poor, comma, he is admired in his community. Okay, let's keep going. Number 9. Okay, so the second part is right. The poor period, and then after the period? After the period, what? Capital H, good. But why did you want to add a comma before because? Because comes at the back of a sentence, right? It's the back of the first sentence. That's where it should be. Don't need a comma. So the answer here is Mr. Hood, blah, 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 poor period, capital H. No commas. Let's keep going. Number 10, try number 10. You want to pass? Okay, I'll call someone else. Liu Jie, Xie Zongling, Jason. Do you like to try number 10? Okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to call someone else. It's a little more complicated. Baku, want to try? Okay, after microscopes, what? Comma, okay, microscopes, comma. Automobile dashboards, what are we adding? Comma. And cameras, keep going. Next fix. Okay, for people, for left-handed people to use period. And then capital T. And then period after people. And then capital W. Okay, what's next? One more thing. Comma after items. Good. Okay, so here's the answer. Microscopes, comma, automobile dashboards, comma, and cameras are awkward for left-handed people to use, period. Capital T. They are designed for right-handed people, period. Capital W. When lefties use these items, comma, they have to use their right hand to do the things that they would normally do with their left hand. There are a lot of things happening in this sentence. Let's take a look one by one. So first you have a list of 3 objects. Microscopes, we know what microscopes are. Cameras, we know what cameras are. What is an automobile dashboard? First of all, what is an automobile? It's a car. Fancy word for car. A dashboard is when you're driving a car where all of your readings are, all of your information is. 仪表板. How do we know that it's a list of 3 things, not a list of 4 things? Why is car not part of the list? Plural, 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 singular. The word car is used as an adjective. What kind of dashboard? A car dashboard. So it's a list of 3 things, not 4. Okay, keep going. And then here they are designed. This is the beginning of a new sentence. So period and then capital T. Then we have this part. When lefties use these items. It says that it's awkward for left-handed people. When left-handed people do use these items, does that part go with the previous sentence or the following sentence? Should it be, they are designed for right-hand people when lefties use these items? Doesn't make sense. So it should be, when lefties use these items, they have to use their right hand. Right? That makes more sense. So after people, before when, this is the end of the second sentence, period, capital W. And then the main sentence, the main third sentence begins with they have to. So this part is has been moved from the back to the front. So there should be a comma before the subject. Items, comma, they. And when you read the rest of the third sentence, you realize why that has been moved to the front. It's because there is a long relative clause at the back. So the ending is already long enough. We don't need to make it too complicated. Okay, questions about this page? All right. Ooh, this looks really fun. Page 20, second half. 5 long sentences. Same rules as before. Cannot change the words, but you can add periods, commas, and capital letters. So for sentence number 1, there's more than one mistake, but the example answer only fixes one mistake. There are more mistakes in question 1. And then for question 3, you see this asterisk, this star. It means that there's more than one possible interpretation for number 3. You can have 2 possible answers, 2 possible set of complete sentences for number 3. And we'll talk about that later. So 5 really long questions. I will give you 5 minutes. Ethan, now's your chance. Number 1. Jamal had to go to the post office and the bookstore, period. Good. And then I had to go to the post office, comma, the travel agency, comma, and the bank. Good. 吴鹏玉、林允晨、傅鼎宏、骆思婷。Number 2, please. Oh, sorry. 傅鼎宏有来。Number 2, please. Frustration, period. And then capital H. Good. And then, are you sure? Comma plus conjunction connects 2 complete sentences. Is this a complete sentence? Where's the subject? Yeah, it's reusing the subject, but after the and, we don't have a new subject. So after the and, this is not a complete sentence. So no comma. If it says examination and he had ruined, then yes, comma. But in this case, no. Okay? Okay, so Roberto slapped his hand on his desk in frustration, period, capital H. Everything else is correct. You want to try number 3? A comma after home. When Alice got home, comma, okay? And then? Why? Why? You said comma after coat. Why? Okay, no comma. Coat and tie, right? Comma after table. Okay, I think we missed something in the middle. He took off his coat and tie, which is the first item, or first action. In this case, it's a list of 3 actions. So first action, comma, threw his briefcase on the kitchen table, comma, and opened the refrigerator, right? So 3 actions, A, comma, B, comma, and C. What's next? Period after eat. Good. So that's the first interpretation of this question. Another possible answer is looking for something to eat could belong to the next sentence. So in your answer, Alex is looking for something to eat. That's why he opened the refrigerator. But it could be that Anne is looking for something to eat, and that's when she found him at the kitchen or in the kitchen. If you do the second interpretation, it looks like this. And open the refrigerator, period, capital L, looking for something to eat, comma. Let me write it down for you, John. So the first one is and opened the refrigerator, looking. I'm going to say you should add a comma here too, because it's a participial construction, 分词构句. For something to eat. and blah, blah. So that's the first version. The second version is and open the refrigerator. Looking for something to eat and that's the second version. So you can see this part could belong to the first half connected by a comma, or it could belong to the second half connected by a comma. If you use the first answer, then you're saying that Alex is looking for something to eat. If you use the second answer, you're saying that Anne is looking for something to eat. If we had the whole story, it would be clear. But with one sentence, it could go either way. So if you are a teacher and your student gives you this sentence, you should talk to them about what they're trying to say. Okay, number 4, 骆志婷. Okay, yesterday, comma, good. Are you sure? Comma after children, we once again have a list of actions. Right, so the first action is bought birthday presents for her children, comma, and then? Wait, we're moving too fast. A list of 3 actions. The first action is bought, blah, 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 children, comma. The second action is shopped for clothes, comma, and saw a movie at the theater, and then you said period, right? And then capital I. Anything more? Sure. It was a busy day, complete sentence. She felt fine because blah, 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 complete sentence. So we need a comma before the but. Okay, so the answer is when Tara went downtown yesterday, comma, she bought birthday presents for her children, comma, shopped for clothes, comma, and saw a movie at the theater, period, capital I. It was a busy day, comma, but she felt fine because it ended on a relaxing note. Ray. Ray here? Yes, last one for today. Wait, where are you? Did you say here? Okay, it was a wonderful picnic, period, capital T, the children, okay? In the stream, comma, rocks and insects, comma, kites, period, kites, period, capital T, period, okay, baseball, period, capital T, okay, preparing the food, comma, supervising the children, comma, good, that's it. So again, a lot of things happening in this sentence. It was a wonderful picnic, period, capital T. The children waded in the stream. Again, a list of 3 actions. The children waded in the stream, comma, collected rocks and insects, comma, and flew kites, period, capital T. The teenagers played an enthusiastic game of baseball, period, capital T. The adults, list of 3 actions. Number 1, busied themselves preparing the food, comma, or sorry, busied themselves, and then number 1, preparing the food, comma, supervising the children, comma, and playing some volleyball. Good job. Your homework is to finish up to the end of page 27. See you next week.